Hey, this is Sharon and Juna. Welcome to Crazy Biatch Asians, the YouTube channel. The following audio was recorded for podcast purposes, so there are no visuals for this YouTube video.
Feel free to put down that phone, go for a walk, cook some food and listen to us chatter for the next little while.
If for some reason you don't want to listen on the YouTube platform, you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Now, on to the ep.
So this brings up the sexualization and negative connotations associated with the term ABG. So that Culture as article references a music video, which I never even knew existed until we started researching for this. The video, titled ABG by rapper Chow Mein, conceptualizes the term through the lyrics. So,
Can you rap it for us?
give me a beat, Jazz. Give me a beat.
Doof, doof, doof. Oh my god, that was terrible.
No.
I think you should just read it.
Fake lashes, fake Gucci. That's my Asian baby girl. And she loved to drop that little booty. That my Asian baby girl. My little mama 5'3". That my Asian baby girl. And she loved to pop that E. That my Asian baby girl. Now, I'm going to assume the E is ecstasy and not egg fried rice or something.
Yep, let's just make that assumption.
So this video went viral after being released, but it's now unlisted for obvious reasons. And the footage of the video showed 3 young Asian women dressed in skimpy and revealing clothing who were actually students at Berkeley at the time of filming. It's scary because ABGs are seen as hypersexualized depictions of a minority group of women who already deal with fetishization like yellow fever or Asian fetish. So even though some may see it as a progressive rather than a repressive term, just think about the term ABG, Asian baby girl. That in itself is very misogynistic.
Yeah.
So there's this one quote by Michelle Fang, one of the girls in the rap video, in the Culture Oz article, which just made me stop and think. She said, "Reclamation became reappropriation, which in turn became repression." Let that just sink in.
You made a really interesting point in that I agree that the stereotype sexualizes Asian women who are a group that are already dealing with fetishization. So that's like a really good point because it seems like, with stereotypes, you go from like one end to the other. I have like so many questions with this ABG thing, and this may be just me thinking too much into it. So because the ABG has a very specific look, is it something that can box Asian women in? Like, if I identify as an ABG, do I have to carry around that made-up look 24/7? If I'm an ABG, am I an ABG all the time? Or am I like a normal chick by day and ABG by night? Like, is it something fun I just channel on nights out? Am I like that all the time? Like, I actually don't know because I'm not an ABG. I don't really have ABG friends. So there's just so many questions going through my head. If we have any listeners who have a better understanding of that, we would love to get some answers on this.
Yeah, I think maybe the problem here is that there is no ABG organization. So you don't have someone giving you a universal definition of what an Asian baby girl is. And because of this, you end up with 1,000,001 different perspectives of what is and isn't an ABG. And over time, an ABG evolved from being a drug-dealing gangster / sex worker into a diehard raver with the boldest fake lashes. And while there are a lot of people who disagree with this term, I think if you do comfortably identify with being called an ABG and you feel like you're able to express your true personality through this persona, then go for it. You do you. Just make sure you're not doing it to prove yourself to anyone behind this false, persona.
Yeah, so we're basically kind of summing it up as in like an ABG can be a persona that some people take on for, I don't know, a certain part of their life. Maybe they're going through teenagehood, they're young adult stages, and they're trying to figure out who they are. And you're basically saying if they comfortably identify as that and that is like their style, then bloody go for it. Go for gold. The final thing I find really interesting about this stereotype is the fact that, like what I mentioned before, in subverting the lotus blossom or nerd generalization, the ABG has completely flipped to the other side. I think you see this a lot in society with like politics, with anything. You see like one concept being repressed, but then off of that, it completely flips into the complete opposite thing. So if you think about the stereotypes on a spectrum, ABG is going from 0 to 100. You've gone from like the nerd to the full on party chick with like no real middle ground. So is that kind of a good thing or not? And to quote a Vice ID article, rebellion only goes so far when it is prescriptive, a slipping out of one stereotype and into another. So, what it basically says is that with Asian women, there really is no balanced middle. You're either sexualized because you're petite and submissive, or sexualized because you're brash and openly slutty, in inverted commas, not slut shaming anyone, through like the short skirts and that whole like full face of makeup look. I don't know, like, are we reading too much into this?